Hey there, wellness entrepreneur. Welcome back. Today, we're going to be talking about how to amplify your impact and the power of getting more consistent in your outreach so you can hit six figures and multiple six figures. I think about my clients a lot. And just recently, I was thinking about what really makes the difference between a client that gets fully booked in 3 to 4 months, brand new to business, or someone that comes to me and maybe they're stuck at 2 to 4K or 4 to 6K and then rapidly hits 10 or 12K and then holds it there versus someone that takes a little bit longer to hit those kind of results. Eventually they get there, but it takes maybe double, triple the time. And this is not to be said to be used against yourself. If you have things going on in your personal life where you have a set amount of hours that you need to work in your business that's very limited, maybe like 5 or 10 hours a week, that includes client calls and such, and you really can't go beyond that. This is for the person that can dedicate about 20 to 25 hours a week. So maybe they're doing a part time job and they want to get out of that job and move into entrepreneurship, or they have a full time job and they can really get in there 10, 15 hours a week about. However, this does not mean hustle. I don't mean that you're going to go out there and go to your job if you're doing that from 8 to 6. And then every night from like 6 to 11, you're going to be working in your business. I mean, doing this in a sustainable way, but seeing results sooner rather than later. Only because I find a lot of entrepreneurs, if they're not hitting their results sooner rather than later, then what happens and they're not getting help and they start to give up on their business. They actually kind of micro quit on their business where they show up less and less, or they kind of have a lukewarm feeling about their business, or they prioritize other things in their business that doesn't actually bring in the clients. And that is a snowball effect of keeping them in the place where they're not creating more revenue and they're not creating more clients. So it's really important to get this down now so you can start creating clients faster, because that's going to snowball you and energize you and lead you to feeling fulfilled, because now you're working with the clients that you want to work. You're seeing them progress. You're feeling fulfilled because that's the whole reason why you got into um, wellness in the first place and helping people. And also, you're able to have more confidence in yourself as an entrepreneur that you know this will work. And when you have that confidence, that fuels you more. So, what I'm talking today is the power of showing up consistently and frequently. And again, I don't mean overwork or hustle or being spammy. This is in an aligned way. And how you choose to do this is either through social media, through networking events, collaborations. We'll go through a specific marketing and outreach or lead generation type plan. And it can be business to client, like social media, where you're posting reels that are speaking to your client. It can also mean business to business, like you developing connections or a team, as I would like to call it, of complementary practitioners who serve the same audience as you, but in different ways. And you might decide to collaborate with them or create a referral strategy. There's many ways to go about this. But what I see is a lot of wellness entrepreneurs having doubt, feeling really frustrated in their business because they're not seeing the results that they want. And they're only showing up on social media maybe one time a week, making one post a week, maybe one story, but it's more about their personal life than anything that has to do with their business. They write emails once, maybe twice a month, They do a collaboration once in a while. They go to a networking event maybe once a quarter, and they just feel busy in their business all the time. Maybe they're updating their website or doing a lot of back end funnels, perfecting a free opt in. But what they actually do public facing is a lot less. So, what I'm saying is that an entrepreneur could spend 20, 30 hours a week in their business. And part of that time's on client calls. And then a large chunk of that time is working in their business, but they're actually not out there making a lot of offers. They're not out there engaging with their clients or meeting new people or attending networking event or experimenting with different types of reels or stories. The key to grow your audience faster, generate more leads, which then hopefully become your clients, and convert those clients is by showing up more consistently. Now, I know my clients that have, again, gotten fully booked sooner rather than later. It's because, for example, I'm thinking about a client who just started her brick and mortar. Well, she was doing mobile physical therapy, but she only had a couple clients and she was able to get fully booked in that and be so busy that she couldn't drive around anymore. Eventually opened her own brick and mortar practice so she didn't have to sit in San Diego traffic all the time within 6 months, and started hitting the revenue months that would put her on track for her six-figure year, all within 6 months. And how she did that was showing up consistently. Now, we still had to work on her schedule because she wanted to not overwork. She was a single mom. She wanted to make sure she had time with her daughter. She also wanted to make sure she had time to go rock climbing and paddle boarding and spend time in the CrossFit gym. But what she did was dial down in the six-figure workshop strategy, the system I teach my clients on, both how to launch and fill the workshops and convert them into clients or patients on the back end. She really dialed in on that. And specifically, what I mean is she went out there and sent a ton of emails to a variety of different studios in the area to collaborate with. She had a couple partnerships that she could utilize that she had an existing relationship with. But at the time, actually, she couldn't even teach in their gyms. So she had to go out and make brand new relationships. And here in San Diego, it's pretty competitive. I know because I've taught in a lot of workshops in San Diego. And it's sometimes hard to get in studios and gyms because they're like, if you're not a trainer here, if you don't teach in our studio, we don't have outside practitioners coming in and leading workshops. They want to keep things in-house and internal, which is fine. And she could have sent out maybe 10 emails and gotten a lot of no's or no responses at all and felt really discouraged and gave up, which would have, led to her getting fully booked a lot slower because not all her clients, not all her patients were from these workshops, but the majority were. She didn't do that. That's not what happened. What happened was she sat down at the computer and sent out a ton of emails. I don't even know how many, 50, 60 or more. And the percentage of studios that she heard back, if she sent out 50 emails to different studios around town, she maybe heard back from 5 of them. And it doesn't mean that they didn't want to, that something was wrong with her, something was wrong with her workshop offer or her as a practitioner. It didn't mean any of those things. It just meant that they probably weren't accepting outside practitioners to teach workshop, or their workshop schedule was full, or they didn't even see the email, right? There's so many reasons as to why they never responded, or if she did get a response, why it was a no. And some of those places, she sent more than one email. The point is, she was like a dog with a bone. She didn't let it go. She fully believed that the workshop strategy would work for her. So she went all in and sent a lot of emails with a busy schedule being a single mom. And the result of that was getting she put a bunch of workshops in the schedule right off the bat. In fact, it was a little too much. It was like 3 workshops, I think, or 5 workshops in her first month, which is a lot to do because there's a lot of um, marketing that needs to be done and promotion and then follow up and then creating the sequence and make sure you're delivering a wonderful workshop for the attendees. So we realized, or she realized, that it was a little bit too many workshops right in the beginning, and she eventually dialed it back to 1 to 2 workshops a month, which is what I find sustainable for a lot of my clients. But that momentum allowed her business to really skyrocket quickly. And then the next problem was like, okay, well, how do I handle all these people? What do I do when I'm fully booked? Creating a wait list, opening her brick and mortar. So then she was on to the next problems in her business. So if you are stuck in this problem, though, of not generating enough leads or inquiries of people reaching out to you, or um, converting your workshops into clients, or growing your audience, it's probably because you're just not doing enough reach out. You're not actually sending out enough emails. You're not actually, if you want to collaborate with people, you're not sending out enough collaboration emails, like finding 20, 30 people to potentially collaborate with and sending out a whole bunch of emails. If you want to speak at conferences, you're just not sending out enough emails, like 10 a day, for example, of different places or different summits or different events that you could potentially speak at. So sometimes you do have to do more in your business. And it's having the correct strategy in place. So when you are doing more, it's efficient and you actually see results from it. And that's what I really help my clients to do. But when you believe fully that whatever strategy you're implementing will work out for you eventually, you'll go ham, you'll go hard on it. That does not mean hustle, right? Within your working hours that you decided that you're going to work, it is possible, for example, in a half hour to send out 20 emails. But if you don't believe fully, if you're doubting if it'll work for you, if you're feeling imposter syndrome, or like, who am I to teach this, or will they really want to work with me, or you're feeling vulnerable to get a no or feel rejected, then you might only send 5 emails in that time span when you really could have sent 20. Or what happens is another area of mindset where I see with a lot of my clients when they first start working with me is they might be sending out maybe an email a month, sometimes missing it, when they really have the potential to send 4 emails a month, but they don't know what to say. They don't want to be annoying to their audience. The emails are taking way too long because they're doubting themselves, because they're really wanting to make sure that they're valuable and perfecting their email. They don't make a call to action in the email because they want to make sure it's valuable and not slimy or spammy. All of this leads to this kind of really heavy process of writing emails. It just feels really heavy with a lot of uncomfortable emotions. So then they only send out 1 email a month, which is really hard to do because it takes a lot of time and they have to kind of sludge through all that. And they don't even get clients from that because they didn't make a clear call to action or write it in a way that seeds the offer, that the program that they want to sell. So then it reinforces the pattern. Oh, well, marketing doesn't really work for me. Emails just take a lot of time and I don't really see any clients from them. They don't convert. When in fact, if you can have a different energy behind that, your mindset is different behind that, where you're like, okay, I'm going to trial my messaging. I'm going to trial telling this client story, my own transformation story. I'm going to seed my offer. I'm going to try this topic. I'm going to try this subject line and just put it out there as a science experiment that you're going to try it. You're going to get data from that, and then you're going to try it again. It kind of lightens up the process. In fact, for me, Another mindset transformation that I really use is both that science experiment of trying things, but from the energy of service and connection. So instead of being focused on me and possibly getting rejection to any email I being sent out, or getting sending out 4 emails a month and getting one person that responds to me and saying, "You send too many emails," which it doesn't really happen. I can't even remember the last time that that's happened to me, and I send a lot of emails. And or sorry, I lost my train of thought there. But where it's very self-focused on you and how you might feel, or how you're being vulnerable, or how people might judge or criticize you. Instead, if you're able to shift the mindset to, I'm have the possibility to connect with one person through an email, or if you're sending out a lot of potential collaboration opportunities, or a lot of emails to potential partner studios to partner and lead a workshop with, I have the potential to reach greater audiences and help more people. I have the potential to serve them and deliver value this way. And you're able to utilize all your skills through either teaching a workshop or writing an email and getting it out there in the world. For me, that the focus then shifts from me and how I'm feeling to now serving and connecting them, which lights me up, right? And then I also feel creative. Well, I just took this Con Ed course. I just learned this new technique or skill. How can I bring that into my marketing material? How can I create a reel on that? How can I write about that in my email? Maybe I'll teach a workshop on it, or maybe I can collaborate with someone in that training to now partner with, because they also serve my audience, but in a different way. So today is a little bit about doing more. It's the subtle nudge of where are you? Take a moment right now and really be truthful with yourself. Where might you be playing it small? Where might you be holding yourself back? Are you only showing up on Instagram one time a week and barely posting in your stories? Why is that? Are you telling yourself it's because you don't have the time? Is that really true? Can you do an audit of your schedule and look and see, where is your time going? Where might you be getting stuck? How could you possibly be more efficient so you could create more reels? So I teach my clients a 7 pillar strategy. It's called the 7 S's. It used to be 5, but now it's 7. But when you do that in relation to with those 7 formats or areas that you can connect with someone on content ideas, as well as teaching it through their client avatars. Most of my clients have more than one avatar that they talk to. On average, it's 3 to 5 people. And in relation to their core teaching pillars or categories that they help people with, whether maybe it's like perimenopausal symptoms or diet and nutrition, mindset work, pranayama, meditation, visualization, all these different areas, it leads to a full table of content that we can use for a month or more often. Content for months. When you get that dialed down and you get your rhythm of how to pull that information off the table and then streamline it so you can create a reel, you can create an email to be sent out to your list, and then you get in the momentum of doing that again and again, then it doesn't feel so heavy to now maybe branch out and say, oh, okay, I'm going to find some studios and gyms in my area where I could reach out to them and see if I can teach a workshop. And then you're like, oh, that wasn't so bad. I sent out 10 emails today. Maybe tomorrow I'll send out 10 emails or DMs through Facebook or something to people that I am friends with, that maybe we could do a collaboration, because they also help my audience in a different way. So I've said this a couple times. Let me explain exactly what that would mean. So I'm a business coach for wellness entrepreneurs. I help them a lot, with mindset, messaging, marketing, sales, numbers and data, tracking their numbers and data and metrics, also working with their schedule and their energy. Those key areas. What I don't do is I'm not a CPA. I can help to create systems in their business where they're tracking their numbers and their finances, but I'm not a CPA. I'm also not a lawyer. I can tell them what contracts that they need, but often I tell them to go have a lawyer look over certain contracts, whether it's a lease contract or they're hiring a VA or an employee or their client contract when they're onboarding clients and informed consent and things like that. So a good partnership collaboration would be to partner with someone that does whose audience is the same as mine, but maybe they're a CPA or a lawyer because they do entirely different work, but we help the same people. And I've done that before. I have, for example, the lawyer Corey Sterling on my podcast here. Or I've had my Facebook ads strategist, Emily Lee Green. She taught my clients. She did an expert call for them on when to start Facebook ads and how to start them and run them. So today, couple areas of takeaways for yourself. I want you to think of again where you might be holding yourself back. Do that audit of your schedule. Find out where your energy and your time leaks are and why. Write it down. Then figure out 1 to 2 areas where you can go in to grow your audience. Maybe it's going from posting on social media once or twice a week to now 3 to 4 times a week. That would be amazing. Maybe it's going from writing 1 email a month to now 2 or 3 emails a month. Maybe it's sending out 10 emails a day to potential collaboration or people that you can be on their podcast for, or studios that you can host a workshop. Maybe it's a combination of all of this, where on Monday, you're going to be working on your reels for the week. Tuesday, you write 1 email, which can be done within an hour. Wednesday, you're going to send out 10 to 20 emails, which, could be done in another hour if you're copying and pasting and just individualizing each email. So then you're getting collaboration people to partner with and getting your brand out there more. Thursday is kind of a buffer day, or maybe you're going to be engaging more on your social media and just getting into the hashtags and meeting people that don't already follow you. And then Friday, you're going to be working on client facing work, whether it's client deliverables or prepping for a workshop that you might be doing. So there's about 5 hours of, 4 hours of marketing time, 1 hour of client delivery time, which can really create consistent revenue and clients in your business and allow you to get fully booked. So that way, if you do have a full-time job or a part-time job and you want to go into your business full-time, you're able to do that. Or if you're full-time in your business, you're actually making a full-time revenue of getting 6 figures or multiple 6 figures. I work full time in my business, but I don't work more than 30 hours a week. So it is possible to be, and I do a lot. I think it was my 90-day plan. You'll hear that all that I do in a week, and it's less than 30 hours. But often to do any of this, when you're writing that list down for yourself, you have to figure out, okay, what is the mindset, thought, or feeling that's really kind of creating that heaviness, that block where you're feeling like you're pushing against uphill water stream of water coming. You're going uphill and it's flowing rapidly downhill. You want to lift that and work through that. And that often is the work that I do with my clients that can shift everything so they do show up more. Figure that out for yourself and how you can get coached on that or work through that, or what somatic practice do you need to do to help yourself through that to open the floodgates of now growing your audience, reaching more people. And when you do have that audience, even people in your existing audience, they know what it is you do, how you help them, because you're making offers about that. You're describing your program through your emails and through your posts. You're making calls to action in your stories to reach out and inquire about working with you. That you do convert that audience now into paying clients. And then that becomes a repeatable system that you can do over and over again. So there you have it. Some mindset and strategy on how to amplify your impact, reach more people, grow your audience through the power of consistent outreach without the hustle, without the burnout. Because truthfully, the burnout sometimes doesn't come from doing more. Yes, there was a time in my business where I did do too much. My hours were too much. I wasn't home enough. I didn't have enough downtime to rest. I was teaching at all hours a day. So you do want to be aware of that. But a lot of the times, true burnout and fatigue comes from what's happening, those energy leaks of doubt and forcing ourselves through doubt or fear, which then becomes kind of hustly because you're working out of scarcity or fears that I'm not sure this entrepreneurship path will work for me, but I'm going to force myself to do it. There's a difference between doing that and showing up that way, which can be a huge energy leak, or acknowledging what it is that you're feeling. Okay, I might feel some posture syndrome here, like, who am I to teach this workshop? I'm feeling very vulnerable. I haven't taught this workshop before. Feeling that type of fear, acknowledging what it is that you're feeling and why, holding space for that, and holding space for courage and confidence and certainty that you can help them, and connection and service. You can bring both of those into your body at the same time. And the energy is different. You're coming from a place of service and connection and feeling sufficient with that energy of imposter syndrome, but not graspy fear that's all consuming. Try it for yourself. Feel into your body from what place you're taking action from and why. And you'll start to notice the subtle difference. And so that you're finishing the end of your day and your week, when your head hits the pillow at night, you are tired because you did do great work. And maybe you had time to exercise and play with your kids and connect with your partner. You were able to do to all that. And it's a very fulfilling day. It's normal to be tired at the end of the day like that. So I don't know for you, but when I have days like that, which are most of my days now, I sleep soundly. I have wonderful night's sleep. I wake up the next, I'm getting, for me, I need sometimes 9, 10 hours of sleep. I get up the next morning, I feel refreshed and energized, and I'm ready to do it again. That is really sustainable versus sludge and heaviness and pushing and things taking a lot longer. So then you're overworking because now it's from doubt or trying to perfect it. And then you're going to bed with spinning thoughts. You're waking up in the middle of the night, worrying, consuming about all that, spinning still. So then you wake up in the morning already feeling exhausted, and the day hasn't even begun again. So you see the difference? There's different types of fatigue, there's different types of burnout, but often I feel like a lot of the burnout comes more from our own mental drama than the actual of overdoing of activities and events. So figure out what's true for you and write down your solution, your plan to go forward. And of course, I'm here if you need help with any of these steps along the way. And stay tuned, because next year I am launching the 6-week Message Makeover Clinic. It's a group program that you can go through all together in the cohort for 6. We're going to do 6 live calls. They're going to be 90 minutes long. You're going to be able to submit emails and like collaborative emails sent out to your email list, your registration pages, your social media reels or stories. You'll be able to submit them back for feedback from me and the community and the group so that you can grow your audience and convert it. That's the whole point. So you can hit those consistent 5-figure months. You'll always know what to say. I'll teach you those 7 pillars. And here's the best part. You can, if you're a current client during that time of when I'm actually doing this program live in the beginning of 2025, then you'll get it for free. It's going to be a $1,500 program, which you will get for free, which makes my one-to-one, which is still it's a very accessible price. That's the word I couldn't think of. Accessible price right now, along with this program, it's an amazing deal. Or you can buy it as a standalone. I will have a payment plan. Actually, I think the payment plan is $1,500 total. And if you buy it in full, you'll get a discount at $1,200. So you can head over to the show notes, the page to learn more details about it, or just book a consultation call with me, and you can learn, what you're a better fit for depending upon what's going on in your business. You can ask me questions. I'll direct you to either one-to-one or buying it as a standalone. And you can just jump on a consult call to get all that answered, and make sure to stay tuned about the upcoming next free workshop webinar I'm going to have as well. So lots coming up at the end of the year here to help you hit your goals for 2024. And most importantly, whether you hit them or not, if you're taking all these steps, you're going to be seeing progress. I'll help you to see the precursors of progress so that you're starting 2025 in a different place, which will lead to a different year. All right. So there you have it. Lots to take action on. And I'll see you on the call or next week at the podcast. Bye for now.